Hey, Mr. Stan 913 here. We are on the Adirondack Sunset Cruise, and we are still in Saratoga Springs, and we are taking this sunset cruise. As you see, it's a beautiful night, and it should be a great cruise to start off. It's about an hour and a half. We're waiting to check in, but I'm walking on the dock here to show you the boat that you take out. As you see, there's a lot of boats here docked. And this is around the Adirondacks, around the mountain range. So we're going out on this cruise to see the sunset. Cruise, I think I said, is about an hour and a half. And there's our boat right here. And we're waiting to check in, my wife and I and some friends. We should have a really great night seeing the sunset. Some clouds off in the distance there, but I think we're going to have a good night. This is the boat we're going to take out. And like I said, there's other boats ready to go. Sunset tonight is a little bit after 8 here in August. A little breezy today. Was a little worried that we were going to have some rain, but it cleared up very nicely. So we'll be boarding soon, and we'll see what this cruise is all about.
I like to talk when we're going under the bridge to get the echo. Just so you know, if you want to move any of your chairs around, stand up during the cruise, you are more than welcome to do so. We just ask that you don't stand on the stairs. Right? And Captain Joe said no swimming. Don't jump off the stairs and go swimming either. All right, so we're just entering Saratoga Lake. This is a narrated cruise. I always like to talk about, I'm a historian, and I always like to do everything that was once old is new again. So everything that was happening on this lake a few hundred years ago, we're still doing today. This house was one of the many lake houses that was on Saratoga Lake in the 1800s. So people would come to Saratoga Lake and dine mainly on fish that were caught from the lake or local game. So some of the best chefs in the area were at the lake houses. At that lake house, Moon's Lake House, the chef was named George Crumb. George Crumb was a temperamental chef. He had a temper. That is found in county records. You can document his temper if you go through the county records. He's a great chef. George Crumb one night made fried potatoes, sent them out to a table. The table said, these are way too thick, and they sent them back. George was irritated by the fact that somebody sent his food back. It's like, oh, they're too thick. Okay, great. So I'm going to slice them as thin as I possibly can, fry them, and I'm going to send them back out. Send them back out. He watched from the doorway thinking, ha, ha, ha. They're going to be so irritated that I just did that to them. But no, they loved them. And they became known as the Saratoga chip, which today we call the potato chip. So the potato chip is said to be invented right there on that hill in 1853. Miles long and 1.5 miles at its widest point.
Just giving a narration of the lake right now.
There's very little
tour.
public access to Saratoga Lake. One of the public
tour
access
before
points
the
would
sunset,
be the New York State
so
Boat
we
Launch,
are
which is
listening
right
to her
across from
talk
us, right
about
across
the
Fish Creek from
tour.
us. Another public access point for you tonight, sometimes twice this has happened. They've actually come down right in front of the boat. One time, an eagle just came down and picked up a fish right out of the water and flew away. You could have scripted something better. But I'll keep an eye out and maybe we can find one nesting. Maybe one will put on a show for us today.
She's talking about bald eagles coming.
We're also coming up on an area called Sandy Bay. Called Sandy Bay because it's sandy, right? So Sandy Bay is over in here. I'm going to point it out now because at various times the way the sun is, you can't see it. But you should be able to see a volleyball net about 2 o'clock from the bow of the boat. It'll appear at some point depending on where you're sitting. So Sandy Bay, you can kind of see there's a couple of boats parked over there. But on a weekend day, like a Saturday or a Sunday on a nice day, there's about 150 to 200 boats parked in there. Some of the residents that might be a little bit older, they will tell you about how they used to run cash and numbers for the gambling houses on the lake. well past the time that gambling was illegal in Saratoga Springs.
So we are probably halfway over the lake right now, and they're saying it's going to be a beautiful sunset. The mountains off to here is where the bald eagles are. We might not see them tonight because these sailboats are actually in the way, and it distracts the bald eagles. So we may see some later on down the lake as we go down Saratoga Lake, or Lake Saratoga if you want to call it that. But it should be a beautiful sunset tonight.
It's Real Housewives of New York City. No, Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Snake Hill, it's a
It is
peninsula.
also undeveloped. So Snake Hill, people say, why is it called Snake Hill? Well, we don't really know the exact answer. It's either called Snake Hill because, one, it looks like a snake. Like the hill itself would be the head of the snake, and then the ridge line is the body. And as we get closer and kind of go forward a little bit, you can see it does resemble a snake. There's also folklore that during the Revolution, this is folklore by the way, during the Revolution, the Americans created the rumor that this was infested with northern timber rattlesnakes in order to keep the British off of this hill because the battlefield itself is about 3 miles this direction east from Snake Hill. There are no northern timber rattlesnakes on Snake Hill. But
So right now we're headed back. And the sunset is off to our left of the boat. So now we'll get a good view of the sunset. There is a great tour guide on this boat, and you're able to ask questions about the lake, and she's very good. So far, this is such a great cruise. A little windy, no chops. It's not really rough, but this is really a good cruise.
the rocks.
So there's graffiti on the
This has been a
rocks that
tradition
she's
that's been going
explaining
on
right
since
now.
like the 50s or 60s. So about this time of year, a lot of kids will come out and they'll paint the rocks. They'll paint them whatever their group name was in school, where they're going to college, whoever their boyfriend, girlfriend was. And yes, this is a practice that still goes on today. Do you know where your rock was?
I have no idea.
There's even like some families that have been doing this for generations and just keep coming out and repainting the rock. There are new things on here this year that I've noticed. And some of these you'll see are quite old. A lot of them are fading. But it's a tradition. There's red on the M, so I don't know if an angry Ohio State fan came out. I'm not sure. Maybe they're trying to change it to the Maryland M.
Yeah, you can barely see the rock.
Right now we're slowing down so
Okay,
that
you can get the
we can get
sunset?
the sunset. He's letting us take pictures,
Sunset?
so he spins around a little bit so that we can get a lot of pictures of the sunset. Sunset tonight where we are is about 8:14.
No, I don't.
So it's going in between the clouds right now.
There's an airplane up here.
Beautiful.
The airplane. The south end of Rock Beach, they have a small beach there. Technically, the one in Saratoga Springs is like water park. They're not allowed to swim there, but that's what it is. They say no swimming, but you get
now he's speeding up the boat. We should be back at the dock around 8:30. And that'll end our cruise. So we're about to dock, and if this is your first time watching, welcome, and please don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to receive future notifications, hit the bell. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Oh, yeah.